Stevens Show. Tonight on my game show, it's a mix of trivia and chat. So thank you guys so much for all the love and all of the support. I've been putting up a lot of new stuff that we actually filmed a long time ago. Y'all probably think I stay up every night doing all this stuff. I don't. Usually when I film all day, all different kinds of things because I'm an interesting person and I want you to find me interesting because I find a lot of your content out there very interesting and it's educating me and inspiring me. So thank you. Us here at Pronoun TV, we've been reaching out to a lot of you for a lot of new shows that we're going to have coming up in November, stuff you haven't seen. And I'm back on the stage. So you're going to get to see lots of backstage footage and you're going to get to see me performing the house down. A lot of y'all always say, well, you're not doing anything, you're just sitting around doing this because you can't give it all away because then I won't have an audience. So we'll give you a little bit at a time. Tonight on our game show is just another mix of trivia. That's it, right here on Pronoun TV and the Stephanie Stevens Show. Thank y'all. And thank y'all for all those tips y'all gave me the last week. Y'all gave me lots of tips last week, and I was rather surprised. So that's why I'm back here on Fridays on TikTok. Because now that it's rewarding, I think I'll stick around a while. So we're going to get started with our game show right now. Our first celebrity works 9 to 5. She owns a theme park in Tennessee, Georgia, one of those areas up there. She's fabulous, and she's looking for a woman named Jolene. Anybody know who this superstar actress is? Singer, dancer, philanthropist, theme park owner. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? She's an incredible country singer. Incredible. And she's working 9 to 5. That's right. This is Miss Dolly Parton. You got that, Kevin. You got that. They told me to be a little bit more interactive with the names and send hello to the people instead of running through the show. So we're going to slow it down for y'all a little bit tonight. That's Miss Dolly Parton. Thank you, Kevin. Ooh, Miss Dolly Parton is an incredible woman. Our next woman is very incredible. She is the queen of Vogue. And she's featured in Beyonce's new song, I think it's Renaissance. I think it's Renaissance. That's the name of the song. And she's featured in that as one of the divas, one of the pioneers of voguing. And she's incredible. She's an incredible woman. I tell celebrities this all the time. You can learn a lot from this woman. They say a lot of negative things about her, but let me tell you something. This woman is very smart. She is the queen of Vogue. Anybody know who this very smart woman is? Anybody know who this very smart woman is? Of course I believe in God. I'm a Christian. I come from Florida, Orlando, the Bible Belt. What does that have to do with the show? Today we're talking about trivia. Why don't you ask me about trivia? I could do some trivia on God for you. I'll do that for you next time. Okay there, Darlene or Daryl or whatever your name is? I'll do that for you next time. Some trivia on God for you. Like I said, I'm from the Bible Belt, Orlando, Florida, even though I live in Toronto, Canada. Well, anyway, this is Madonna. That's right, Madonna, the very fabulous Madonna. Did y'all see her new BBW? She's got her a new body. I love Madonna. Get it, girl. 63, honey. What else you gonna do? You got all that money. Fix it up. Make it look good. Our next celebrity was the Queen of Mean. The Queen of Mean. She and her husband owned all these hotels at one time in New York City before the Trumps. And apparently, if she didn't like the way that you cleaned the rooms, she would beat you up. Anybody know who the Queen of Mean is? Anybody know who the Queen of Mean is? Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this very mean, upset hotel owner is? Well, was. She's passed away now. That's right. This is Miss Leona Helmsley. Miss Leona Helmsley, the Queen of Mean. She used to beat up all of the maids in New York City if they did not clean the rooms properly. She was a very upset woman. Our next singer, fabulous skinny, tall, my Jamaican guy, and Lavion Rose. Lavion Rose. Anybody know who my Jamaican guy is? And speaking of God, this woman is like a god in the LGBT two-spirit pronoun community, and she's featured in Beyonce's new song Renaissance as well. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? This is Miss Jamaica herself. Fabulous. My Jamaican guy, Lavion Rose. And anybody know who this woman is? That's right. This is Miss Grace Jones. Miss Grace Jones. We love us some Miss Grace Jones because she crossed the gender lines. You couldn't tell if she was male or female. Thank you, Miss Grace Jones. You're fabulous, and you are a legend and a diva, a trendsetter. And we used to dance to all her music at the Copa and the Barn and all the hot spots. Oh, we did it all. Our next celebrity is Mr. Las Vegas himself. Oh, Mandy. Some of you young ones won't know who he is, but he is the king of Las Vegas. At one time, he was the king, and he's part of the LGBT two-spirit pronoun community. Anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? You young people might not know who this gentleman is. That's right, from the 70s. From the 70s. Anybody know who this gentleman is? 70s, 80s. Oh, man, do you kiss me? That's right. This is Mr. Barry Manilow. Mr. Barry Manilow, the king of Las Vegas. The king of Las Vegas at one time. Now there's other kings and queens, which is a good thing. Thank you, Las Vegas. You opened it all up for all of us now. Because apparently, RuPaul's Drag Race is doing very well in Las Vegas. Oh, congratulations, Ru. You're helping the young children just learn how to express themselves. Yes, that's the way to do it. Our next singer is, how do I say? Shake Your Boom Boom. Shake Your Boom Boom. He was in some controversy a few weeks ago about some false allegations. But now that that's all been cleared up, we can get back to dancing. Anybody know who Mr. Miami is himself? He's a real cutie. Mr. Shake Your Boom Boom. Shake Your Boom Boom. Anybody know who he is? We can get back to dancing now all over Miami because I'm going to be there in a few months. That's what I heard. And I heard I'm going to be in Vegas too. And I heard I'm going to Australia. I heard I'm going to Belgium. I heard these things. That's right. This is Mr. Ricky Martin. Mr. Ricky Martin. He's a real cutie. He has a boyfriend. And he was in some kind of mix-up a few weeks ago, but they cleared that up, and now we're back to dancing. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you for clearing that up. Our next singer, actress, not singer. She was more like a talk show host, comedian. And now she's retired, worth over $400 million. Hopefully I'll get to meet her when I'm up there in Los Angeles. I hope I get to meet her. She's part of the LGBT two-spirit pronoun community, and we love her. And we hate the fact that her show ended. It ended on a strange kind of a note and everything, but we love this woman. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this famous talk show host? She had a show for 18 years, 18 seasons. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? She's married, and she's part of the LGBT two-spirit pronoun community, and she just got this big, fabulous, brand new car. I hope I get to ride in it when I'm in Los Angeles. Yes! That's right. This is Ellen. Y'all done forgot about Ellen already? Nobody knew this was Ellen. Come on now. You guys couldn't have forgot about Ellen already. That's right. This is Ellen. Ellen DeGeneres. We love her. We love her, and we're going to miss her because she did a lot. She did a lot bridging the gap between straight and the LGBT community. She did a lot, Miss Ellen DeGeneres. Our next actress was in Barbershop, and she was also in Chicago. She's been in a whole lot of things. She's a rapper, too. Anybody know who this woman is? She's Miss Covergirl. Miss Covergirl. Anybody know who this two-spirit LGBT two-spirit pronoun community member is? That's right. This is Miss Queen Latifah. You got that, Keith? Look at you. You're good. You're very good. That's right. This is Miss Queen Latifah. We love us some Miss Queen Latifah. She just got on television a few months ago and just told the world she's just who she is. And that's what she should have did from the get-go. But it's never too late to just come out and be who you are. I've been doing that my whole life. And as my families were all my members in my family are heavy Christians, and they never treated me any different. Even when I decided I wanted to just be who I am. I'm an actor, I'm a comedian, I'm a singer, I'm a dancer. I do it all. Anything to keep the coins coming in. Our next celebrity is a fashion mogul. A fashion mogul. He's worth $600 million and he dresses all of the celebrities. And he's an incredible designer. Anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this Two-Spirit pronoun community member is? Yes. Anybody know who this is? This famous designer? I know you guys must know him. He dresses all of the celebrities. And he's worth about $600 million. And I might be doing a little something. We'll see. I keep pushing. That's right. This is Mr. Michael Kors. Mr. Michael Kors. He doesn't have a specific look. This is the only thing I could find. I thought that you guys might be able to catch on. That's right. This is Mr. Michael Kors, and I might be doing a little. You never know. You never know. That's what I heard. I done heard so many rumors, and I'm still sitting in this room here about me, and I'm still sitting here alone. Because as you guys know, I live alone, and I prefer it that way because it's less BS. Our next celebrity, he's passed on now, and he was an R&B legend, and he used to cover all of the hits, and he was famous. He could like nobody else. He could go up and down that scale. Anybody know who Mr. R&B King legend is? Anybody know who this Mr. is? Anybody know? He sang with En Vogue. He sang with Patti LaBelle. He sang with many celebrities. Oprah Winfrey said she went to his house and that's right. This is Mr. Luther Vandross. Mr. Luther Vandross. Oprah said she went to his house and she refused. She told the camera people, don't sit on nothing because everything was pristine. The house was immaculate. She said it was nothing. She was so nervous. It was very funny. Oprah didn't want to sit down, and she said, let's go sit in the kitchen and sit around the table. Very funny. Very funny. That's Mr. Luther Vandross with an immaculate, clean house. Our next celebrity, none of you will get this. If you do, I will be shocked. He was a porn star in 1980s, and all of the LGBT Two-Spirit gay men had his porn videos. He was part of Falcon, Catalina, and he was a huge star. They wanted to put him on Star Trek, but then that porn caught up with him. It caught up with him. Anybody know who this gentleman is? I saw him many times in the Copa in Fort Lauderdale. Anybody know who this gentleman is? He looks a lot older, but when you see him in his movies, he was gorgeous. He was gorgeous. And he was, how do you say what Michelle Visage would say? What you packing? He was packing. Wow, this gentleman was amazing. His movies are amazing. He's on Catalina and Falcon. I didn't tell you that. That's right. This is Mr. Jeff Stryker. Mr. Jeff Stryker, the king of porn. All gay men had his videos. And if you were a bottom, he loved you. If you were a bottom, I know most straight people, they probably know what top and bottoms are now. My father used to always say, well, I hope my son isn't the bottom, No father wants their son to be the bride. I was the bride and the groom. I was both of them. But anyway, this is Mr. Jeff Stryker. I almost got off track there, y'all. Mr. Jeff Stryker, the king of porn, 1980s, 80s, 90s. Fabulous. And he's beautiful in those movies if y'all get to see him. Our next celebrity, was in Las Vegas for many, 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 many years. She's a gay icon and she's done so much. And she wants you to believe. She wants you to just believe. Gypsy, Tramps, and Thieves. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? She loves bugle beads, rhinestones. Every gay impersonator I know have done this woman at one time or another. That's right, Keith. This is Cher. Cher. She still looks like this today. A good plastic surgeon. I'm going to get me one soon, y'all. Don't worry. Let me get a couple of more dollars. I'm going to get one. I'm going to clear up all of this here. Fix it all up. I'm doing okay for 60, so I'm all right. That's right. This is Cher. Ooh, this woman can dress. Drag queen's best friend is Cher because she shows them how to come out there and be a star. Our next celebrity was part of Sylvester, and she was one of the 2 tons of fun. 2 tons of fun. And she sang on everybody's albums. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who It's Raining Men is? It's Raining Men. She was one of the members of the Weather Girls. She was one of the members of the Weather Girls. That's right, Miss Martha Wash. Oh, Keith, you're smart. You're very smart, Keith. Look at that. That's right. This is Miss Martha Wash, and we love her. I've seen her many times at the Pride festivals, and this woman can sing. This woman can sing. Beyonce, you need to put her in some of your songs in the background. Let her sing and wail, because she can wail. Speaking of wailing, Miss Patti LaBelle can wail. I love Miss Patti LaBelle. She's got the pies in Walmart now. She must have heard me up here in Toronto because I went to Walmart the other day and I saw the pies. So I am going to do a little show on the history of Miss Patti LaBelle and the pies and all that stuff. Y'all just wait. It's coming up. Anyway, our next singer is You Make Me Feel Mighty Real. You Make Me Feel Mighty Real. He was a big part of San Francisco's gay scene for many, many years. He started off in just regular old community theater, and he became one of the biggest, I would say, flamboyant and out gentlemen. That's right, Keith. This is Sylvester. Sylvester, Keith, you just too smart. You must have seen me do these things. Oh, you just good at this stuff. That's all right, Keith. You keep it going because we got a lot of difficult ones coming up. That's right. This is Sylvester. You Make Me Feel Mighty Real. We love us some Sylvester. He just did it. He was just himself. I remember when Joan Rivers was hosting the Johnny Carson show, and she asked Sylvester about him being a drag queen, and he says, I am not no drag queen. I am Sylvester. Yes, just be yourself, Sylvester. I ain't no drag queen either. People say, do you drag? I'm a drag queen when you're paying me. When you're paying me, you call me what you want to call me. Just keep the checks coming in. Keep them coming in. Our next celebrity was in drag in North Korea. He was in drag in North Korea. He's 6'6", and he's an NHL player. And he was in drag in North Korea in a wedding dress to see the emperor or the king or whatever it is over there in North Korea. And I couldn't believe this NHL player was in drag in North Korea. Anybody know who this cross-dressing NHL drag queen is? Anybody know who this is? Anybody know who this is? This man was in a wedding dress in North Korea in full drag. That's right. This is Mr. Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman was in full bloom. She was in full bloom in North Korea in a wedding dress, getting out to see the king or the emperor over there. I don't know what that was about. How do you get out of a cab in North Korea? Well, anyway, she got out of one. She got out of one in full bloom talking about human rights or something. I don't know what Dennis Rodman was doing. I don't know. And this is him in drag. Can you imagine him coming to the door for his clients? Oh, God, how you doing? Ah! Anyway, this is Dennis Rodman. He should have been in Tu Wong Fu, or what's the other one? Birdcage. He should have been in there. Dennis Rodman, come on now. Apparently, he owned a furniture store in Los Angeles and didn't even sell a piece of furniture. How do you be a basketball player and own a furniture store with Carmen Electra, and neither one of y'all can sell furniture? How do you invest in a furniture company in Los Angeles and thinking celebrities who are very rich want to sit on somebody else's furniture. Now, you can't open up no thrift store in Los Angeles, Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra, and try to think celebrities want to sit on couches somebody else has sat on. I don't know what they was thinking. They was trying to open up a Value Village and a Goodwill. Ooh, come on there. No wonder. Our next celebrity is the Queen of Crime. The Queen of Crime. Her husband was part of the PBS televangelist series on television. And apparently, he went to jail for stealing the congregation's money. But she could cry on a dime, so that's what kept her out of jail. Anybody know who this crying televangelist is? Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? She could cry on a dime. When the FBI came to her door and asked her, can we see your husband? Because he's stolen the congregation's money and we have a few words for him. That's right. This is Miss Tammy Baker. Miss Tammy Baker. This woman could cry on a dime and she dresses like the only drag queen. And I don't know how she wore all that makeup in Florida as hot as it is up there. I don't know how she did it. I don't know. I don't know how Tammy Faye wore all that makeup in Florida. I guess like those other socialites in Miami. Anyway, our next celebrity is the Queen of the Catwalk. She made an appearance on RuPaul's Drag Race to show the young children how to strut their stuff. She's beautiful, glamorous, but she likes to pick up telephones. And just in case if you ever cleaned her place and something went missing, the telephone, I don't know, you might have left the apartment or the penthouse with a lump on your head. Oh, that's right. This is Miss Naomi Campbell, the queen of putting knots on her maids' heads. That's right, the queen of the catwalk. She will knock you out if she thinks something is missing from her apartment. And she think you took it. But anyway, I'm just allegedly, apparently, it happened or didn't it happen? I don't know, but it's missing. My bracelet is gone, and somebody left her apartment with a lump on their head. Well, anyway, that's right. This is Miss Naomi Campbell, the queen of clucking you on your head if you take anything from her apartment. That was apparently the bracelet or whatever it is showed up later on. But apparently she likes to fight. Naomi Campbell likes to fight. She should hang out with Mike Tyson, the two of them, the ear biter and the fighter. Oh, I could see it now. They should do a show on that. Put Naomi Campbell on one side and Mike Tyson on the other side, and let's see what happens. Speaking of seeing what's happening, he has a baby now. He's part of the Vanderbilt fortune, and he's real good looking, and he's real cute with his shirt off. I saw him with his shirt off, and I almost fainted because I wanted him real bad, but he's got a baby. And I'm not really good with babies, but I will try, maybe for a hookup or something. This is Mr. CNN himself. Anybody know who Mr. CNN is? This man is very good looking, very good looking. And you should see him with his clothes off. He had his shirt off, and I was like, oh, I'm getting hot. Oh, Lord. Can you say that here on TikTok? I'm getting hot. I don't know, but anyway, I got hot. Anyway, this is Mr. CNN himself. That's right, Keith. This is Anderson Cooper. Mr. Anderson Cooper. Very good looking, very good looking. Now, our next celebrity. A lot of you might not know who this gentleman is. If you didn't follow An Evening at La Cage, the celebrity lookalike show, or Married with Children, you might not know who this gentleman is. And he was also on Dynasty. Now, I worked with him for many years in An Evening at La Cage. Does anybody know who this drag queen is? He worked with Milton Berle in many shows. Anybody know who this famous drag queen is? Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? She's fabulous. When I used to work with her, I used to be on the floor all the time because this woman was hilarious. Hilarious. And she wore the most ridiculous costumes on the stage. I used to laugh every night when we were working. Because she used to come over to my station and stand there. Girl, what do you think? No, this is not Ethel. No, let me give you another look. She lives in California. She appeared in An Evening at La Cage for many, many years. And she was also Uncle Otto on Married with Children. She also appeared in Dynasty. Let me give you guys another look. I don't know if she's alive. I reached out a few times. I didn't get any messages back. But she would be at least 88, 90 years old now. That's right. This is Gypsy. Gypsy from Married with Children. And An Evening at La Cage. You can Google. This guy is very funny. He appeared in a show with Milton Berle. And he was also on Married with Children. This is Gypsy. Gypsy James Hawk. And this woman is funny. We used to go to the bars together all the time in St. Martin. And this woman is crazy. She's very funny. You would love her. Next, before RuPaul took over Las Vegas for the drag, this used to be the queen of the strip. The queen of Las Vegas. This used to be the drag queen of Las Vegas. Anybody know who this drag queen of Las Vegas is? Anybody know who this drag queen of Las Vegas? Apparently, she had a discrepancy with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, but straightened everything out after it was too late. And I feel sorry for the girls that ended up out of work, but I'm sure they were okay because they've been around for a long time. But at least she made restitution with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, with the children, because you can't have discrepancies when you have a charitable event and children are involved. You have to make sure everything is great for the kids, no matter what. At the end of the day, you don't need any more dresses and bugle beads and rhinestones. Just do the right thing. That's what I say. Just do the right thing. One step at a time. One step at a time. This was the queen of Las Vegas at one time, and she went tumbling down the rabbit hole. That's right. This is Mr. Frank Marino. Mr. Frank Marino from Las Vegas. He went tumbling, or she went tumbling down the rabbit hole. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I saw that on Entertainment Tonight, and I almost blacked out. I couldn't believe it. Our next singer is Come a Chameleon. Come and go. You know what you do on Friday and Saturday nights when you're on Grindr or Tinder. You're coming and going. Those hookups are something else. Anybody know who this beautiful Culture Club member is? That's right. Keith, look at you. You're so smart, Keith, and you get them quick. I like that. You get them quick. Next week I'm gonna make it a little harder for y'all. I'm gonna do horror because Halloween is coming up, and you guys have been messaging me about doing the horror one that I did a few months ago. So I'm gonna step that up. Anyway, that's right. This is Mr. Boy George. Mr. Boy George. We love us, Mr. Boy George is just being himself from the beginning, and that is amazing. He was never changing for nobody, and you know what? I give him. Beyonce, you should have put Boy George in that video too, because he was a queen of, at one time. He was a queen of one time. We danced off. So. Anyway, our next celebrity, I'm getting ahead of myself, y'all. Our next celebrity is the king of fashion. He's really cute. Apparently, he takes 5 showers a day. 5 showers a day. And he's really good looking. And he wouldn't be who he is today if it wasn't for Jeffrey Bean. If it wasn't for Jeffrey Bean or Gregory Bean, fashion designer, that man gave him his break. This guy is real cute. Apparently he takes 5 showers a day. Well, you can come visit me anytime if you decide that, you like girls like me. I'm a single woman now, and I'm not really looking for no man. I'm just looking for an opportunity, and you look like you dress real good, so I think there's an opportunity. That's right, Mr. Tom Ford. Look at you, Keith. Mr. Tom Ford, a real good-looking man. And got a great career, takes 5 showers a day, he's clean. Hint, hint to some of you straight men that be trying to do these hookups. The girls have been telling me y'all ain't y'all better wash everything up, clean it up. Get you some Palmolive or some Dettol. That Dettol soap is very good at making sure everything is good and clean. Our next celebrity is really upset. She's all over TikTok right now. She's upset with the orange man. Apparently, she wants him arrested immediately. Because when he was the president, the two of them went back and forth on Twitter about his hair. about his hair. And she had a big viewpoint about his hair. She appeared on The View. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this two-spirit pronoun community member is? That's right, Keith. This is Rosie ODonnell. I'm not making it too easy for y'all. I'm not making it too easy. This is Miss Rosie ODonnell. Apparently, she and a group of other lesbian women were on these motorcycles headed towards Mar-a-Lago. That's what I heard. They had a convoy like the one in Ottawa, and they were on their way to Mar-a-Lago to straighten things out with the orange man. Apparently, he wasn't home. The FBI was at his house. Apparently. Anyway, that's right, Keith. This is Miss Rosie ODonnell. Miss Rosie ODonnell. We love her. Rosie, I love you. I see you all the time on TikTok. I know you watch my stuff. I see you all the time on TikTok, and you're very funny. You just let Donald have it. Donald can't get a minute's rest. You know, Donald can't get a minute's rest. Speaking of not having a minute's rest, our next actor is from The Birdcage. The Birdcage. And he played the starring role in that show, Starina. Starina. Anybody know who this actor is that played Starina in The Birdcage? Y'all excuse me one minute. There we go. Anybody know who this actor is? Who played Starina in The Birdcage? Starina. That's right, Mr. Nathan Lane. Look at you, Keith. You're so good. Oh my God, everybody's catching up. That's right. Mr. Nathan Lane played Starina in The Birdcage. Yes, we love Mr. Nathan Lane. He pierced the toes. If you didn't see that movie, you should see it. It's quite funny. And to watch Robin Williams try to teach her how to be butch and walk, it was the most hilarious thing. Because, you know, queens always think that they're walking butch and their hands are all in the air and everything. And my ex-boyfriend used to tell me that all the time. He used to always say, I'm going to get you a bicycle with the V in the middle. I said, well, why are you getting me that? And he says he wanted to put my hair in pigtails. But anyway, it was a funny thing. He used to say that all the time and weird things to me because I used to say, I'm not that feminine. And he would try to... Anyway, proved to me that I was a Nelly old queen. But anyway, speaking of Nelly old queens, here's two. These two Nelly old queens here. One was from the 1940s, and he did a lot of telethons to raise money. He was also in black and white movies. And this is his co-partner in crime, and both of them are in drag. Anybody know who these two Nelly old queens were? I don't think he was part of the LGBT two-spirit pronoun community, but I know he was. Anybody know who these two gentlemen are? This one's part of the, I almost said the name, the telethon. Did you get that? That's right. This is Mr. Milton Berle. Keith, do you know who this is? He used to run a telethon on television and raise lots of money for different charities. And he's been in all of the 40s and 50s movies. Anybody know who this is? This is Mr. Bob Hope. Bob Hope in full drag with Milton Berle. The two of them are in full drag. Letting them have it. And look at Milton Berle. She was just ready. Look at her. She's like, girl, where the stage at? Where is the stage, Miss Thing? Do I remember? No, child, I'm 60. I would not be back there with Bob Hope and Milton Berle. I just turned 60 years old. So, I don't know much about the 40s and 50s as far as, seeing them on television and watching their movies. I'm a very good historian if you want to understand a little bit more about me. I'm very smart. I used to make straight A's in school and in college. I got straight A's. I was a smart person. Don't tell nobody. I act dumb because I want to keep everything that I have to myself. Speaking of keeping things to themselves, they live in a castle. And he's married to a Canadian. Anybody know who I'm Still Standing is? I'm Still Standing. Anybody know who that is? Anybody know who Mr. I'm Still Standing is? Anybody know who this is? Anybody know who this is? Anybody know who? I'm still saying he has a Yellow Brick Road tour coming. That's right. This is Mr. Elton John. Keith, look at you. Me and you should do the shows together. Yes, we should do that. You're smart. You're smart there, Keith. That's right. This is Mr. Elton John. When he was back in the 1970s, just expressing himself. He knew how to do it. Dress it up. Sing it. Dress it up. This is Vegas. Let's do it, honey. They tell me that all the time. They tell me that my drag, sometimes I'm cross-dressing and all of this kind of stuff. I can forget how to do the drag that I used to do. It ain't that. It's just that when it's not paying, I'm not doing. When drag pays big, I get big. I don't really do the small gay clubs anymore. I'm a businesswoman now. I want to be in the theaters where the real money is. When you're 60, you understand theater. And you understand that when you live alone, you got to work and get all the money. That's all to it. Just in case something happens. Anybody know who this woman is in this bird dress? Anybody know who this woman is in this bird dress? I can't remember what song she sings. If y'all know what song she sings, I can't remember the song she sang. That's right, this is Bjorn. But y'all remember the song she sang? I can't remember. I don't think I never danced to any song she sang. I don't even know what she sings. I know her name, and I've seen her on the award shows a few times. But I don't know what song she sings. Oh, she sang, It's Oh So Cold. Oh, yeah. Shh. Oh, that song. Oh, that's Miss Bjorn. Oh, yes. I wonder what she doing now. That one song, she must be out of money now, because that one song, I mean, she sang that so long ago. She must need money. I mean, because that song can't be making no money on Spotify. Speaking of not making any money, or trying to make some money, very rich, very smart. I saw him do this prank on television in New Jersey with his aunt. She came home and he had repainted her house. They were painting her house a bright orange color in New Jersey. He pulled this big prank. Anybody know who this talk show host is that repainted his aunt's house and wrecked her? He wrecked her. She came home and they were painting her house bright orange. It was the most funniest thing ever. If you didn't see that, you should see that. That's right. This is Jimmy Kimmel. He painted his aunt's house. It was white and brown or something. And when she came home, it was fluorescent orange. She was fuming. It was so funny. It was so funny. Jimmy Kimmel, that's right. The man with the pranks. He pulled the prank on his aunt, and then he called her and tried to act like nothing is happening. And she's screaming on the phone, "Did you do this?" It was very funny. Well, anyway, you can't have a bright orange house on the corner lot of any street and think you're gonna. It was very funny, Jim Kimmel. You were very funny when you did that. That's something that I would have done. That sounds like something Stephanie Steve would have done, and then ran behind a tree and hid. Speaking of hiding, she's the creator and the director of Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? She created so many different shows that anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who Miss Grey's Anatomy is? Miss Grey's Anatomy. Anybody know who this woman? Oh, he's from Las Vegas. Jimmy Kimmel's from Las Vegas. Oh, but he pulled the prank on his aunt that was in New Jersey. I watched the whole thing. I think it was in New Jersey. And you Google it and you'll see where he painted his aunt's house orange. That's right. Miss Shonda Rhimes from Grey's Anatomy. For Grey's Anatomy. We love us some Miss Shonda Rhimes. She just did it. She made that show work. She wrote a show that featured mostly white people. In doctor's office. That's good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, Shonda. Next time, write a show about black doctors. We like that a little bit better. But I did like Grey's Anatomy for the first few seasons. I gotta say that it was cute. I ain't got nothing to say. She did it. She made her money. Hello, do what you gotta do. Write about everybody. Our next interest was the President of the United States of America. Apparently, he wasn't the first black president. He was the first visible black president. Apparently, back in the 1920s, there was a black president. He just looked white. And I know who I'm talking about. Anybody know who this black president is from Hawaii? Apparently, the last president was questioning his birth certificate. He wanted to see this man's birth certificate. Because he didn't think that he was an American. That's right. This is Mr. Barack Obama. Keith, you're so good. We got to do the shows together. Mr. Barack Obama. And apparently the orange man said, he's not from Hawaii. He's not from Hawaii. I need to see a birth certificate. Oh, that orange man is something else. I don't know what Donald was doing. Donald must not have had nothing to do that day. Donald must not have had nothing to do that day. Donald was something else. Our next celebrity was in Firestarter when she was just a little girl. Me and her grew up together, so she's probably the same age as myself and many other celebrities. But she was the Firestarter. She was the Firestarter. Anybody know who this talk show host is today? Anybody know who this talk show? That's right. This is Miss Drew Barrymore. Miss Drew, you got that again, Keith. You're so good. You're so good at this. Miss Drew Barrymore. We love her. She also has a magazine out. I haven't seen that yet. I'm going to have to look around Toronto and find that magazine. Our next celebrity is the Queen of Supreme. And she's fabulous, famous, and beautiful. And she's 70-something years old and still looks incredible. And I just saw her at one of the festivals in Australia performing. She's still on the road. Anybody know who this queen is? Anybody know who this queen is? Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? That's right. This is Miss Diana Ross, the boss. This woman is fabulous. She knows how to dress, and she's still doing it. She's still doing it. She just performed at Buckingham Palace for the Queen's 198th birthday. And she was fabulous. She couldn't hear what she was singing because she kept going, like sometimes we do. You need a monitor on the front of the stage. You need monitors on the front of the stage for drag queens so you don't hear them singing out loud. And that's what we used to do at La Cage. They used to put monitors on the front of the stage and blast them. Because if you sing out loud, it makes it appear more like you're actually singing the songs. I don't know how that worked with no microphones. That's why they started making us scary microphones to make it look more realistic. It was hilarious. Our next celebrity. This woman was the Queen of the Philippines. And apparently, she had 400 pairs of shoes while the people of the Philippines were starving to death. Apparently, she stole all the money and spent it on shoes. Jimmy Choo shoes. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who the Queen of the Philippines is? Her and her husband ran off with all the money from the Philippines, took off and went somewhere. I know La Cage was a great show. And they're going to try to bring it back, I heard. They're going to try to bring that back to Vegas. With a different host. That's what I heard. So hopefully. Anyway, she said no clue. You don't have no clue about the Queen of the Philippines. Okay, educate you. This is Miss Imelda Marcos. Apparently, she was the Queen of the Philippines, and she used to spend all the taxpayers' money and this country's money on shoes. When they raided her house, the police, they found over 400 pairs of designer shoes while the people starved to death in the Philippines. Apparently. And she said she didn't do it. She said she didn't do it. They were trying to put her in jail. Can't you see her hand? She's like, I will get you. I will get you if it's the last thing I do. This is Miss Imelda Marcos, the woman that's saying to everybody out there, I'm going to get you. This woman is something else. Apparently, she ran off with all the money of the Philippines. Speaking of running off with all the money of the Philippines, our next celebrity. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Apparently, he didn't do it. But apparently, there's two people that are dead. We don't know He said that the glove don't fit. You must acquit. Anybody know who this gentleman is? 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 If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. That's right. This is Mr. O.J. Simpson, Mr. Heisman Trophy himself. He used to be like on the Hurt rental commercials and all that. This man was very good looking, had a very good career, and apparently his ex-wife and some young waiter happened to have died by suspicious circumstances. And they accused him, and he was in court saying, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Apparently, he's loose in Miami, ladies. O.J. Simpson is loose in Miami. Be careful. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Speaking of gloves, now, our next celebrity was the first black doctor on television. The Jell-O Pudding Man. The Jell-O Pudding Man. And apparently he was in jail for talking to women on a lounging couch. They put him in jail for talking to women and actresses on a lounging couch. He would invite you to his hotel room to act out a scene lounging on the couch. Anybody know who this Jell-O Pudding Man is? That's right, Keith. This is Bill Cosby. This is Bill Cosby, the Jell-O Pudding Man. They put the Jell-O Pudding Man in jail for allegedly lounging women on a couch and asking them to speak eloquently. Mr. Bill Cosby. They put the Jell-O Pudding Man in jail. I couldn't believe it. I used to watch the Cosbys. What is it called? The Cosbys, the Huxtables. I used to watch the Huxtables all the time. Bill, thank God. I don't know. Look at Bill. But look at Bill. Look at Bill's face. Bill's looking for revenge. Speaking of revenge, this gentleman here was a talk show host. He has 140 cars, 140 vintage cars, and he has a signature look. Anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? He was a talk show host. He has a show on YouTube now. That's right. This is Mr. Jay Leno. He has a show on YouTube with, I forgot who the other guy was. Seinfeld. He has a show on YouTube with Seinfeld, and they drive around in this car trying to do lawn sales, going to lawn sales or something like that. I don't know. I watched 1 or 2 episodes and I was bored. I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry. But it was boring. I couldn't take it. Tell Seinfeld I'm sorry. Our next celebrity is not a celebrity at all. Well, kind of in the horror film industry. Whenever you went into the water, because you know most black people are afraid to go into the water. Not that we're afraid of drowning, we just know what's going to happen if you go into the deep water. Well, not even really the deep water these days. Anybody know who this famous celebrity fish is? Famous celebrity fish. When you hear that sound, dun, 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 you know it's time to get out of the water. Most people stay in the water. I was already out of the water before I heard even the first dun, dun. That's right, Keith. This is Jaws. Jaws, dun, 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 dun. I never understand that. You see a fin in the water and you just sit there and look at it instead of getting out of the water. I never understood that. And who goes swimming at night in the ocean? Who does that? Ooh, crazy people. Speaking of crazy people, this next celebrity has been whopping all over the internet lately. Her and this other woman, Megan Thee Stallion. They just whop, whop, whop. Anybody know who Miss Whop is? The queen of whopping. Most of the female rappers today can't figure out who's the queen of rap. One minute you hear Nicki Minaj, the next minute you hear, what's that woman named? Little Kim, and then you hear Spinderella one time. That's right, this is Cardi B, Keith. Cardi B, the queen of WAP. Can you imagine playing that video from the American Music Awards for church members. Sir, the one that was on here earlier asking me, do I believe in God? Ask Cardi B to play that video from the American Music Awards when her and Megan Thee Stallion was on there. Ask her to play that video for you, and then you ask her if she believes in God. Speaking of believing in God, this was Donald Trump's second wife. Yeah, this is his second wife, a beauty queen, a real beauty. We haven't heard anything from her. She lays low. She lays low. Miss Hawaiian Tropics herself. Anybody know who Donald Trump's second wife is? Anybody know who Miss Hawaiian Tropics is? This is Donald Trump's second wife. She was beautiful, and she took off after about 2 or 3 years. She had enough of the Donald. That's right. This is Marla Maples. We haven't heard anything from Miss Marla Maples. Did she go to the funeral? Did she go to Ivanka's funeral? Well, they had it in his. Did they have the funeral in the backyard of his house? Who buries? Oh, anyway, Donald, there's so much to be said about Donald. I used to like Donald at one time. I used to think The Apprentice was the best show on television. Because when Donald was telling people to go home, when he told Latoya Jackson to go home and Theon they wanted to tear the place up. It was very funny. If you ever watched The Apprentice with Donald Trump, he was very good. He was very good for The Apprentice. He wasn't a very good president, but at the beginning he was. Until his ego got in the way, and then he decided he wanted to beat up everybody, including Rosie ODonnell. But this is Marla Maples of Honor, buried in an empty field. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Who does that? Who buries their ex-wife in their current wife's house's back? Oh, Donald. Oh, she was cremated. Oh, well, anyway. Whatever the circumstances is, Donald's always up to something. Speaking of up to something, this next actor was Pirates of the Caribbean. He was just in court. He was just in court with some woman trying to extort money from him or say that she didn't beat him up. She didn't beat him up. He said he didn't beat her up. And there was this big controversy with the two of them. And now he wants to try to see if he can get 13 million, 10 million, 20 million from her of his own money. That's right. This is Mr. Johnny Depp. Mr. Johnny, you know what? I got to say this to Johnny Depp. If you're ever out there listening to me, take my advice. You don't need 13 islands. You don't need 14 houses. What do you need all that stuff for? I understand investment, but you can't be broke at the end of the day sitting in court talking about, I need 13 million from her, and you know she ain't got it. You're just doing that to get back at her. I know what that's all about. But Johnny Depp, you're a great actor, and we miss you. So get back on the screen. Get back on the screen with all of that silliness, because we love Pirates of the Caribbean. I watched all of the episodes, so you got my little $23 from the movie theater for that. Okay, get back on the screen. Get back on the screen, Johnny Depp. And leave that woman alone. Oh, anyway, speaking, we're almost halfway through. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Pronoun TV and the Stephanie Stevens Show and my game show, my trivia. I'm going to be here every Friday for y'all at 7:30. And I'm trying to make them a little bit longer. Thank you for all the stars and the hearts and the gifts. And I want to try to do the shows a little bit longer because TikTok has encouraged me to stop doing the game shows so short and running out of here, because usually that's what I do. I'll do that a long time ago. Speaking of Tu Wong Fu. Tu Wong Fu. Anybody know who this celebrity is? From Tu Wong Fu. He was Maxine Jackson in Tu Wong Fu. Miss Maxine Jackson. That's right. This is Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes spent 3 years in jail for tax evasion. Tax evasion. Miss Tu Wong Fu herself, Miss Noxzema, she didn't pay her taxes. All these houses she owned in Florida, she didn't pay her taxes, and the government said, no, too late to pay now. Come on. They drug her down there. Speaking of dragging her down there, and she's passed on now. We miss her. She was the greatest love of all. She did the song, the remake of Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You. Excuse me 1 minute, because all this talking. You got to do what you got to do to get to Hollywood. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? The greatest of love of all. I learned from the best. That's right, Keith. This is Miss Whitney Houston. Miss Whitney Houston. We love Miss Whitney Houston. And that's a great name of a show. The Stephanie Stevens Show. And that portion of my show could be called The Desk. Ooh, that's a good idea. Thank you for giving me that idea. The Desk. Oh, yes. I'm gonna try to come up with something. I'm going to tell my agent about it tomorrow. Y'all heard that from me. Don't create no show called The Desk. That's mine. The Desk. The Desk. Starring Stephanie Stevens and friends. Speaking of cross-dressing in Los Angeles, our next cross-dresser, actor, dancing guru, has been dancing all over Las Vegas. Back in the days, he used to try to keep you thin. If you were a celebrity, he had you moving those legs, hips. And now he's just cross-dressing around Los Angeles. Anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? The dancing guru. That's right. This is Mr. Richard Simmons. Mr. Richard Simmons. Apparently, he's all over Hollywood and Los Angeles Boulevard cross-dressing. Apparently. He's himself. He's himself. Speaking of himself, this gentleman now owns 30 acres. I think it's 30 acres. 30 yards. No, 30 acres of land. And he built a multi-million-dollar movie studio. He used to sleep in his car. And this woman made him rich with a movie also, his first movie, Diaries of a Mad Black Woman. Anybody know who this gentleman is? And who this woman he plays? That's right, this is Tyler Perry. And who's this woman here? Who's this woman that's always going to jail and pistol-toting? This pistol-toting woman. Anybody know who this pistol-toting woman is? She's always looking for a fight. That's right, this is Medea. Medea and Tyler Perry. This woman here was last seen in Atlanta running. We don't know why she was running and clutching her purse. Speaking of running and clutching her purse, apparently our next celebrity left the nightclub in Chicago around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And apparently 2 black men jumped out of the bushes and attacked him. Apparently, this celebrity was in Chicago, coming out of a gay nightclub, and some gentlemen jumped from behind a tree and attacked him. These 2 big football player-looking guys beat this celebrity up. Anybody know who this gentleman is? He's part of the Empire non-existent franchise now. Anybody know who this is? He was on Empire. He was on the show Empire. Anybody remember his name? The people in Chicago, the city of Chicago is very upset. The mayor says that this man owes them $232,000 because he made false allegations against 2 non-existent football players that he say jumped out of the bushes with poppers and beat him up. That's right. This is Mr. Jesse Smullet. Mr. Jesse Smullet. That's right. Apparently, 2 black men, 2 big football player black men, jumped out of the bushes and beat him up. And all of the police in Chicago were looking for these 2 non-existent black men that he says beat him up. Oh, Lord have mercy. Our next movie. This gentleman appeared in all of his movies. He made some appearance at one time or another, but this is his most famous movie. Anybody know what movie this is? Anybody know what movie this is? And his name is Alfred Hitchcock, and this was one of his most famous movies. He appeared in all of his movies. Anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? The Birds. That's right, Keith. The Birds. Mr. Alfred Hitchcock was a genius at suspense and thriller. Thank you, Alfred. Thank you. Our next celebrity is part of Harpo Studios. She was in the movie The Color Purple. She was in the movie The Color Purple. Anybody know who this famous woman is? And she had her own show for 25 years. Anybody know who this woman is? She upset the Texas cowmen real bad. She upset them real bad, and they was trying to take her to court and saying that she made the beef in Texas go down. That's right. This is Oprah Winfrey. That's right there, Byron. You got it first. That's right. This is Oprah. She upset the cowmen in Texas real bad because she said something about beef, and they didn't like that. Excuse me 1 minute, y'all. I can't stop laughing because I thought the whole thing was silly. No, them Texas cowmen, they didn't think it was silly. Our next celebrity is a talk show host from the movie. She was in Hairspray. Anybody know who this talk show host way back in the days was? She was around with her Geraldo Rivera and Sally Jesse Raphael. Anybody know who this talk show host is? From the movie Hairspray, from the Broadway show Hairspray, from the movie Hairspray. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? I heard, that's right, this is Ricky Lake. I heard that she is working at a 7-Eleven in Los Angeles. That's what I heard. I heard that. Jenny Jones. Jenny Jones, I don't know who that is. Who's Jenny Jones? What? Was she a talk show host? No, this is Ricky Lake. I don't know who Jenny Jones is. Who's that? I don't know who that is. Our next celebrity was in Mississippi Burning. And he was also one of the starring actors in The Birdcage. He played the senator in The Birdcage. And he is quite frightening in drag. I wish I had the picture of him in drag. Anybody know who this actor is? Anybody know who this actor is? Oh, Jenny Jones had a show in the 80s. Was it a talk show? I don't know who Jenny Jones is. I never heard her. Never heard of her. And that's right, Mr. Gene Hackman. This is Mr. Gene Hackman from Mississippi Burning, and he was also the most frightening looking woman in The Birdcage. If you ever see the ending of the movie of The Birdcage and you get to see him in all white hair, a white dress, white shoes. In the movie in The Birdcage, you're going to holler. You're going to fall out. Speaking of hollering, none of you are going to get this here. If you do, I'll be very surprised. She was a singer in the 1980s, and she did this one song that I remember vividly because we danced to it all the time. It's Happening All Over Again. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? It's Happening All Over Again. She was a singer from the 80s. She was around with Robin S. and Crystal Waters and lots of the other famous 80s singer. Anybody know We Are Family? No, this is not We Are Family. She hasn't done nothing in a long time, in many, many years. I don't even know if she's still alive or she's still singing. That's right. This is Miss Lonnie Gordon. Miss Lonnie Gordon. It's Happening All Over Again. That song is so amazing. That's a really good song. You should have sampled that one too there, Beyonce. Because that was a good song. I used to dance up a storm to that song. Our next singer, our next actress, Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman. Anybody know who this actress is? This is Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman. From Pretty Woman. She's done so many. She was in the movie with, I think it was called, I can't remember the name of the one where she was in the movie with George Clooney, the two movies. That's right, this is Julia Roberts from Pretty Woman. We love us some Julia Roberts. This is her when she was a young girl. So cute. She looks basically the same. I mean, well, you know it's her. You just know it's her. That's right, this is Miss Julia Roberts. Speaking I want to just say thank you guys so much for tuning into the show tonight. You guys were amazing. Keith, you were actually fabulous. We have a few more to go, and then we'll be done. I will see you back here next Friday. Thank you for all the gifts, the love, the comments. Thank you. Keep them coming. I'm going to try to keep as much content coming to you because we filmed about 40 brand new shows you haven't seen that'll come out in November. Stuff where I stepped up my game, and you're going to get to see me behind the scenes at a lot of the shows and get to see me performing and doing what I do. And finally, I got the microphone in my hand, and it's over. I had the children rolling. But anyway, y'all will see that in November. But until then, this is the first black Catwoman. The first black Catwoman. And champagne taste she loves. Anybody know who the first black Catwoman was? The first black Catwoman. Wow. Ooh, yes, we love her. I do her songs all the time in my show, Champagne Taste. And she was also in lots of different movies. And sometimes the stuff just escapes me, just goes out. But she was the first black Catwoman. Anybody know who this woman is? That's right. This is Miss Eartha Kitt. Miss Eartha Kitt, the first black Catwoman. We love Miss Eartha Kitt. Oh my God. If you've never been to a drag show where they do Miss Eartha Kitt was such a character and so great at telling stories in her songs. And we love her. Our next celebrity is from Thelma and Louise. He was married to Angelina Jolie and that other girl that does the hand lotion commercial. Anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this is? That's right, Miss Eartha Kitt, Santa baby, slip a sable under the tree for me. I've been an awful good girl, Santa baby. Hurry down the chimney tonight. Oh yes, Miss Eartha Kitt. We love us some Miss Eartha Kitt. That's right, Keith. This is Brad Pitt. This is him when he was a boy. He looks so different. He's such a good-looking man. No wonder all the women wanted him. Brad, do you like girls like me, Brad? I'm going to sleep with his picture next to my head tonight and dream. All I can do is dream. He ran around with this woman here. Anybody know who this woman is? This is the woman that Brad Pitt was married to, his last wife. He's very upset with her right now because apparently she sold a house from up under him. She tried to sell this house from up under him a few weeks ago. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? That's right. He was married to Jennifer Aniston too. Brad Pitt and this woman. That's right, Miss Angelina Jolie. And he was married to somebody else? Oh, Jennifer Aniston, yeah. He was married to her. I don't have a picture of her, sorry. I should have put that in the middle. Oh, I should have thought about that. I didn't think about that. Keith, like I said, me and you got to do a show together. Because that's right. Miss Angelina Jolie from Salt, and Mr. Brad Pitt from Thelma and Louise. There are now 6 children later. Oh, my God. Speaking of 6 children, this woman here has 2 princes, one soon to be a king, I think. And one is married to an American actress that is from Canada, but she was born in Los Angeles. Anybody know who this woman is? She is the mother of 2 up-and-coming kings. At some point, they both will be king in... Most of us will probably be dead before they're kings. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? That's right. Keith, this is Princess Diana. Princess Diana, a fabulous woman. Died in a car accident very tragically. Fabulous woman. Fabulous, fabulous. Now, we have just a couple more. Thank you guys for sticking around and listening to me. Hopefully I educated you and inspired you. And hopefully you enjoyed the show tonight. Our next celebrity is the Round Mound of Sound from RuPaul's Drag Race. She lives in a little town outside of Fort Lauderdale called Hollywood, Florida. She's now in Las Vegas scrapping and scraping and grabbing those coins from the RuPaul's live drag show. Anybody know who this woman is? The round mound of sound of RuPaul's Drag Race. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? I couldn't believe it. I just saw some YouTube thing where she was sitting in, her and her husband, both kind of naked, talking about their life, an attraction to each other. It was very strange to me. But anyway, anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? None of y'all don't know who this woman is. This is Miss Latrice Royale. Miss Latrice Royale. I didn't know this one. That's right, this is Miss Latrice Royale. A lot of people don't know her. A lot of the people don't know who the RuPaul drag queens are unless you watch the show. I only know because she's from up the street from where I used to live. When I used to live in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, she was up the street. So that's how I know her. Otherwise, I'm going to be honest, I don't really watch the show. I just sort of watch the news. I watch what you guys say. Our next celebrity helped Tina Turner get her career turned around. And apparently he's in prison for mistakenly finding his ex-girlfriend dead at the bottom of the stairs. That's apparently. Apparently, I don't know why he's in jail, but apparently his ex-girlfriend was found dead at the bottom of the stairs. Apparently. But he's in prison. They don't know who did it, but he's in prison. They don't know who did it, but he's in prison. That's right. This is Phil Spectra from Spectra Records. He's in jail for apparently finding his girlfriend dead at the bottom of his Los Angeles home. But he's in prison. They haven't found the killer yet because apparently he's in prison. And next, I'm being silly, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm being silly. Our next celebrity wore red-rimmed glasses, and she was the queen of talk at one time. And this woman sits on the bench. This woman sits on the bench today, and she's the most famous woman on television and one of the richest celebrities around right now. And she likes to tell y'all just how it is. Oh, he's dead? I thought I heard that he was dead. I didn't want to say he was dead until I knew, but I did hear that he was dead. I just didn't say that in the show because I wasn't sure. That's right, Keith. This is Sally Jesse Raphael. And Judge Judy. Judge Judy, she knew she was going to be a celebrity and she knew she was going to be famous. And this woman was the most famous woman on television at one time before Oprah came and just took over the reign, her and Barbara Walters. But Judge Judy, she looks so different, eh? Judge Judy and Sally Jesse Raphael. Miss red-rimmed glasses herself. I saw her do an interview a few weeks ago, Miss Sally Jesse Raphael. She looks good. She looks good. Also, our last celebrity of the night. Now, this is an incredible movie. If you haven't seen it, it's suspenseful, it's interesting, and it's been remade 4 or 5 times. But there's nothing like the original. Anybody know what movie this is from? This movie character is from. Anybody know what movie this is from? No, this is not Nancy Pelosi. I saw your comment. That's right. This is from It, the movie It, one of the most interesting horror films of all times. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Pronoun TV and the Stephanie Stevens Game Show and Trivia. I hope you learned something. Thank you, Keith, and thank you to all the other people that took part in the show tonight. We will be back next Friday at 7:30 with an all-new game show. I'm going to pop in and watch what y'all are doing. Thank y'all so much for sticking by me, and thank you for all the tips, the comments, and all the love. And thank you, TikTok, for finally now rewarding those Stephanie Stevens. Thank you. And to everybody out there, thank you. Thank you. And just keep going. Just keep going. You know, I never understood this television thing. Now I do. It's a lot different than what I thought. And I'm just going to keep going until something amazing happens. And it's happening now because I'm getting to meet so many different people around the world that I probably would have never got to meet and see some of my celebrity friends and people I look up to up and close and personal. And I remember the name of that show, The Desk, starring Stephanie Stevens. Yes! And good night, y'all. Y'all take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend, everybody. And just do something and be fabulous at it. Good night.